Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Isaac Cruz will be ready if Gervonta Davis comes calling. First, Cruz, the WBA junior welterweight title holder, must get past the dangerous Jose Valenzuela on August 3rd in the sole future to the Torrance Crawford Israel Madrimov 154-pound title headliner. It is surprising because I thought it was almost a done deal. But then again, if he did not want to fight him, you've got to respect the decision, Cruz said. And then that just means that I'm in a top condition to be able to be considered to fight Gervonta on whatever day it is available at the end of the year. And if it happens, I will be ready. Cruz is no stranger to Davis. As a late replacement for Rolando Romero in December 2021, Cruz gave the undefeated 3-division champion the toughest bout of his career, going the distance with and losing a close decision to arguably the hardest pound-for-pound puncher in boxing. Cruz has been calling for a rematch ever since. Now there is a strong chance of it finally happening, provided Cruz gets by Valenzuela. No easy task. I'm going to be ready to go from the opening bell up to the final second of the fight, Cruz said. And my goal is to give fans a great show and to come out on top in the end. Gervonta Davis' coach names the only thing that can stop Shakur Stevenson fight next. Talks collapsed between Gervonta Davis and his future opponent this week, opening the door an All-American fight against Shakur Stevenson. All three fighters benefited from Devin Haney moving up in weight and vacating his 4 belts. Many in the sport feel that Stevenson, 27, is the most intriguing opponent out there for Davis. In an interview with Mill City Boxing, Tank's sole trainer Kenny Elvis said that Stevenson himself has stated he wants the fight this year, meaning the only way it doesn't go ahead is if he backs out scared. Shakur said it. He would like that fight in November with Gervonta. He said it, he wants that fight, so let's see how bad he wants it now. I ain't putting the words in his mouth, he said it. He not with Bob Arum's anymore, so let's see. The only thing that can stop that fight is fear. Asked what sort of chance he gave the matchup, Ellis was extremely positive. Huge chance, see what happens. Bob Arum makes confident Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson prediction. I really believe that. The path is clear for Gervonta and Shakur to make an All-American lightweight unification fight. Davis was elevated to full WBA champ when Devin Haney moved up a division and successfully defended his belt with a clean knockout of a fellow southpaw Frank Martin. Stevenson fought for the vacant WBC belt against Edwin De Los Santos and then defended it against Artem Arutunyan, both wins coming comfortably over the distance but being criticized by some for being less than entertaining. Shakur hit back at the doctors by saying he would perform at his best when he faces the best. What makes things simpler still is the fact that Stevenson has now entered a period of free agency after a long stint with the promotional giant Top Rank. Bob Arum, although he may not be involved in making it happen at this stage, predicted the fight early this year. He told, Gervonta is an excellent fighter and a big attraction, so sure we would like to match Stevenson and Lopez against Gervonta Davis and see how well they will do. I like our guys to win the fight. All 3 would beat Davis. I really believe that. But that's why they do the fight, right? Again, we are open to any of that, Bob Arum said. Former world champion predicts Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson after sparring both. Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson clash is an all-American, all-undefeated lightweight unification that fans want to see. With the differing styles and skill sets, the two champions find themselves in the same division and finally able to answer the question of, is Stevenson's early defense and movement enough to avoid the stalking and powerful Davis for 12 rounds. In an interview, former WBO Super Bantamweight World Champion Angelo Leo picked Gervonta Davis to win based off of his work in sparring with both fighters. Personally, I like Gervonta a little bit more. He is a very smart fighter. Very smart, very cunning. He is fast on the counter punches, and I just think he is got a lot of skill. People just think that he is a power puncher, a heavy puncher, but he is also very technical, and he knows how to pick his shots when he picks his shots. The good news for fans is that all of these predictions may soon be put to the test. Davis is now free of an opponent following a collapse of negotiations with IBF champ. Tank Soul trainer Kenny Ellis said the only thing that can stand in the way is fear, and pointed to Shakur Stevenson's recent promotional free agency as another obstacle avoided. As for Leo, after losing his belt to Stephen Fulton, he mounted a featherweight campaign and returns to the ring next month. Gervonta Davis camp ready to send the contract to Shakur Stevenson. Gervonta Davis trainer Calvin Ford says they will send a contract to Shakur Stevenson for a fight. If WBC lightweight champion Stevenson agrees, they will fight next. The Big Four and Shakur's worth. Ford wants that fight for WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis because he views the New Jersey native Shakur as one of the Big Four that he wants for his fighter. Some believe that Shakur will price himself out like he did against Devin Haney and wind up losing the Tank Davis fight because he doesn't recognize that he is not a star. He is just a belt holder, with fans who enjoy his retro Mayweather-esque outdated fighting style, which does not fit in this era of boxing. The sport is a challenge due to the heavy competition from MMA, and now it's about entertaining the fans. And the old style of hit and not get hit does not work with the fans or the networks. We're going to send you a contract with the money. If they take it, they take it. We just seen what happened just now when his opponent did not take the fight, said coach Calvin Ford about Team Gervonta Davis planning to send a contract to Shakur Stevenson for a fight in November. Shakur is one of the last of the Big Four. To tell you the truth, Shakur is overestimation. It's unlikely that Shakur will accept the deal from Gervonta Davis because he believes that his WBC title and the world titles he captured at 126 and 130 count for parity. They don't, and those are meaningless when negotiating with a pay-per-view attraction like Gervonta Davis. Shakur will likely reject the deal and be where he is now, left to fight the obscure fighters like he has been doing. If Stevenson, 27, signs with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, he will be stuck fighting 140-pounders, and he won't last long against them. People are divided down the middle. They don't know who is going to win fight. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.